Okay, so first we'll do the forearm flexors. The first muscle we'll do is the flexor carpi radialis. So flexor, all the flexors are on this side, and carpi is the wrist, radialis is on the radial side. So the origin is the common flexor tendon from the medial epicondyle, right there, and the deep antebrachial fascia inserting into the base of the second metacarpal and third metacarpal. So the bases of these two metacarpal bones. The action that it does is it flexes the wrist and radially abducts. So to fire the muscle while palpating, I'll get you to lift up your wrist a bit and also that way while I move against you. So just resist the pressure of my hand. So I will palpate from origin to insertion. So all the way up to the base of the second and third metacarpal bones, and relax, thank you. And the nerve is the ulnar nerve. And to do the muscle test, it's pretty much the same thing. I'll get you to lift up your wrist and move to this side. And you are going to resist the pressure of my hand, okay? Oh, it's the median nerve, sorry, not the ulnar nerve. I was looking at the wrong line. And so just resist the pressure of my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. And I'll do that bilaterally. I should be holding the wrist down here actually. So again, lift and to that side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay. For the next muscle, the flexor carpi ulnaris, there are two heads. So there's the humeral head and the ulnar head. So again, it's flexor, so on this side, carpi, wrist, ulnaris, ulnar side. So we're dealing with this side of the arm. The humeral head starts from the medial epicondyle, the common flexor tendon of the medial epicondyle, and the ulnar side origin is the deep antebrachial fascia, the medial margin of the olecranon process by aponeurosis, medial margin of the olecranon right there, and the proximal 2/3 of the posterior border of the ulna. So proximal 2/3 is right along there, posterior border of the ulna, and then all of that inserts into the pisiform bone of the hand, the hamate, and the base of metacarpal number 5. So to get the patient to flex the muscle, I'll get you to flex your hand up and move it all in the ulnar deviation position. So just keep that position while resisting the pressure of my hand very lightly. Like I'm gonna try to pull you this way, you wanna go the other way? Yep. So I'm gonna palpate from origin to insertion into there. Good, thank you. And to do the muscle test is about the same thing. I will get you to lift up your hand and move that way. And so just resist the pressure of my hand for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And the nerve is the ulnar nerve.
Good. If I'm gonna be doing this, it means nerve. Okay.
All right. So the next muscle is the palmaris longus. Palmaris means palm, and it's a long muscle. So we're looking at the origin is again the common flexor tendon from the medial epicondyle, and then going all the way, and deep antebrachial fascia, going all the way to the flexor retinaculum and the palmar aponeurosis, which is all along here in the palm of the hand. So to get the patient to do the action, that would be just flexing the wrist up and tensing the palmar fascia. So what I'll get you to do to tense the muscle is to cup your hand a bit and lift it up and just resist the pressure of my hand while I palpate from origin to the insertion. Good, and relax. And the nerve is the median nerve. And to muscle test, I will again get you to cup your hand while lifting up your wrist, and I will try to pull apart your palm. So just resist me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Thank you. Next muscle, flexor digitorum superficialis. There are 3 heads. There's the humeral head, ulnar head, and the radial head. So flexor, again, on this side, digitorum means the fingers, which means fingers 2 to 5, and superficialis means it's fairly, how I remember it, it's superficial and closer in terms of where the fingers are. So the humeral head starts from the common flexor tendon of the medial epicondyle, and the ulnar collateral ligament and the deep antebrachial fascia. And the ulnar head starts at the medial epicondyle of the ulna, medial coronoid process of the ulna, and the radial head starts from the oblique line of the radius, which is right there. So the course of the muscle is in this direction, like this. And it inserts all the way to the middle phalanxes by tendons of phalanx digits 2 to 5, so right there. And then to get the patient to flex the muscle while I palpate, I will just get you to curl your fingers up and just resist the force of my hand here, just gently, and then I will palpate this muscle from origin to insertion, and then all the way up to the third, the middle phalanxes right there. And then and the nerve is the median nerve. To muscle test, I will again get the patient to curl up the fingers, and I'm gonna support the wrist. I will first test 2 fingers at a time, so I will hold on to the area just above the pips, so right there, and then just curl your fingers against my hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. And then for the next 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. And then the next muscle, flexor digitorum profundus. The origin, again, so it's flexor on this side, digitorum, we're again talking about digits 2 to 5, and profundus, how you remember this is different from the superficialis, is profundus is further away, so it goes all the way up to here. So the origin is the anterior and medial surface of the proximal 1/4 of the ulna. So here's the ulna, proximal 1/4 is about here, and so is the anterior and medial surface, proximal 1/4, so right there, and also the interosseous membrane and the deep antebrachial fascia. And this inserts into the distal phalanxes of digits 2 to 5 up here by tendons. And the action that it does is it flexes the dips rather than the pips. So it's the dips this time. That's all the way up here, right there. So what I'll do to get the patient to fire the muscle while I palpate is just put your fingers together, yeah. And then I will hold on to the distal phalanxes while they flex, and then I'll just palpate the muscle from origin to insertion, all the way up to the distal phalanxes. And the nerve is phalanges 2 to 3 is innervated by the median nerve, and phalanges 4 to 5 are innervated by the ulnar nerve, because I'm there on the ulnar side. And to get the client to muscle test, we will do pretty much the same thing as last time, but instead of the pips above the pips, I will hold above the dips. So I'll just do 2 at a time. If you can curl your fingers, and I will put just resist the pressure of my finger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And again, on these two, be careful. Don't flex this. What I want is you to flex that. Flex this. Yep. And then resist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And for the last flexor, we have flexor pollicis longus. So flexor on this side, pollicis is thumb, and longus it goes quite far on the thumb. That's how you remember. So the origin is the anterior body of the radius. So the radius on this side, below the radial tubercle. So radial tubercle is around here. So below that would be around here. And as well as the medial side of the coronoid process of the ulna, that would be right there. And the medial epicondyle of the humerus, so up here. You just relax, it's fine. So the origin's around here. And then all of this inserts into the distal phalanx of the thumb. And the action is it extends the IP joint of the thumb, which is the interphalangeal joint, like right there, like that. Yep. So to get the client to fire the muscle while I palpate, I will just get her to just hook your thumb, yeah, and then just resist the pressure of my finger right there gently while I palpate this muscle from origin to insertion all the way up into the distal phalanx. Good. And for the it's innervated by the median nerve. And to get the client to muscle test, I will, it's a similar motion, I will support the wrist while the thumb curves, and then I'll just get you to resist the pressure of my finger right there. You don't have to do any kind of deviation there, just curve your thumb, yep. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax.